Hello, my name is Frank Gomenti. So in today's video, we'll be doing a walkthrough on installing Metasploitable tool. Now, Metasploitable tool is a vulnerable machine that is designed for learning purposes. So if you don't have experience in cybersecurity, you need to set up a home lab, which we have done before. So, but we need to make sure that we have a vulnerable machine that we can easily attack and get some understanding on how to do some attacking, because most machines have firewall, and this firewall will prevent you from attacking. So unless you have now become an expert or you have now advanced in your ethical hacking career, then you can now know how to bypass firewall and IDS, which is known as intrusion detection systems. So, but if you are learning, you need a vulnerable machine like Metasploitable tool, which has been tailored for this purpose for attacking, so that you can understand the metrics when it comes to attacking, and then after we'll now begin to do defending. Now we'll be using a tool in Kali Linux known as 𝐷𝐒𝐿. Now 𝐷𝐒𝐿 is the GUI of Metasploit framework. Remember that we use Metasploit framework to do a Trojan backdoor attack on our Ubuntu machine from the Kali. Now, but this 𝐷𝐒𝐿 has a GUI which is known as graphical user interface. Now, the graphical user interface whereby you can easily interact with just by checking some options and selecting options that you need to use. It has been automated for that purpose. So I'll walk you through on how to install Metasploitable tool, and then how to make sure that we are in the same network, all our machines are in the same network, and after that we can now scan our network to discover every live machine using 𝐷𝐒𝐿, and by so doing you'll be able to have a good understanding on as in know what to do when it comes to attacking, especially when you're in a network. What do I do next? So that is the essence of this video, and stay through to the end and you will learn a lot from this. All right, so I'll go to my browser, go to Google and search for Metasploitable tool, then select Metasploitable tool, download from SourceForge, then I'll click download. So I have downloaded this file before, so as soon as it starts downloading, I'll stop it. Then just to show you the process, that's why I have to download it. Now it said downloading, so I'll just stop it. Then I'll go to my folder, then I'll right click on the folder, then I'll do extract all, then I will extract. Okay, so here we go. This is the file we need. Then I'll go to my VirtualBox, and I'll do new VirtualBox or new virtual machine. Put the name Metasploitable 2. Then I won't select an iOS because it's not an iOS file. I will just go to type, it's a Linux type, then our version, I will select older 64 bits, then I'll go to next. I'll leave this hardware configuration as default, then I'll do next. This here now, I'll now use an existing virtual hard disk. I'll select it, and I'll do hard, go to where my folder is, then this is what I need. As soon as it's entered, I will do choose, I will do next, finish. So that is it. We have installed it. Let's do some configurations. just put it on bi-directional rather. Then I'll go to network. In this network aspect, what I want to do is to go to tools, select NAT network. I'll say okay, but I want to go to tools, unveil, tools, then network manager. So I'll choose NAT network, then I'll create a new one and give it a name. I'll give it arcane underscore tutorial. So that will be the name of our network that we'll be using as from henceforth. Then I will change this IP address 192.168.1.0/24 subnet, and that is it. I will say apply. So it has been applied. So if I go to settings, network, it's a NAT network, then I will choose the hacking tutorial network. Okay, then I'll do the same for every other machine on my system. Network, NAT network, I'll choose hacking tutorial. For the Windows network, it's a NAT, so I'll put hacking tutorial. For �𝐁, I'll go to network, choose hacking tutorial. For Ubuntu 2023, hacking tutorial, then that is it. So I will power the machine and also power the �𝐁, power every machine on the virtual bus. So once they are all up, then we'll begin our attacking. All right, so this is MSF config, MSF framework. I will do, so the username and password is being given. This is it here, MSF admin, enter MSF admin. So we are in our Metasploit framework, Metasploitable framework. Then I'll do if config to check the IP address. So the IP address of my Metasploitable 2 is 192.168.1.4. Then I'll check for my 𝐿. All right, so for my 𝐿, just going to enlarge the screen. I will check IP-A. The IP for my 𝐿 is 192.168.1.176. So what do I want to do now? I want to do sudo su. Let me enter root privilege. Then I'll do 𝐷 connect. Yes. It's connecting to the server. Okay, so it could not connect to the database. The problem is service. We need to run the database. This is service PostgreSQL start. Okay, that started. Then I will run 𝐷 again. I will say connect. Yes. 𝐷 can also be gotten from show app. When you show up, you will see 𝐷 here. Almost all the tools in Kali, they have their graphical user interface. So, but most of the time, we use command in Linux, not because that's the only option, but because it is more user friendly. That is, if you know what I mean. So 𝐷 is coming up. Now this is the graphical user interface of 𝐷. So let it finish loading. Now it has finished loading. So the next thing we want to do, we'll go to hosts, then we'll go to nmap scan. Then we'll go to quick to scan every IP address in our network 192.168.1.0/24. So we are scanning from from 0 to the entire IP subnet, which that means to say it will discover every IP in this range. So the scan is complete. Now you could see that it was able to discover lots of PC or system in our network. That is to say, these are all the devices in this network. Now, where is our? Let me check the IP address of our Metasploitable2. The IP address is .4. This is the IP for our Metasploitable2. So what we want to do now is to focus on this one that we want to target and clear the screen. So I'll clear database. And I'll go to host. I'll say hard host. And I'll type the IP address for the Metasploitable2. Hard one host, added one host. So what I'll do next, I will just go to nmap scan again, and this time around I'll do intense scan. So by the time this intense scan is finished, you see that the monitor here will change display. So what that will mean is that it will tell us the type of operating system that the monitor or the computer is using. So, and this scan will discover every open port in the system that we can now begin to exploit. So the difference between intense scan and quick scan is that intense scan will do further probing of the scanning, while quick scan will just scan quickly to get one or two things from the network, But in test scan, we discover more things. That's why this one is taking more time. Okay, so the scan is finished. It says use attacks, attack to find attacks to discover, to suggest applicable exploits for your targets. Okay, now you can see that the monitor, the display of the monitor has changed. If you hover around it, it will tell you the type of operating system, Linux 2.6. Now we have discovered this scan. Let me right click on the machine and click services. Now these are the services, the name of the services that are open, ports that are the numbers of ports that are open, the protocol, transmission control protocol, and the informations. So we'll do a quick one on this first one. This is a VS-FTP-FTPD. Let's do that. Now we can do two things. We can now go to attack and say find attacks. But before we do that, let's check on this one manually. We'll go to this window here, go to exploits. We'll look for Unix server, then we'll look for FTP. Then this is how to locate this VS-FTPD. Now if I double click on it, now it will ask me to enter ROs. Automatically it has entered LOs for me, like listening host, which is my Kali machine IP address, and the port is going to walk through. Now it's asking me to enter RO, so I'll just click here and enter the IP address of the Metasploitable 2 192.168.1.4. So it's going to use port 21, which is an FTP port. Then I will say launch attack. So it's launching attack. So at the end of the day, it says exploit completed, but no session was carried out. So this is actually the process to launch an attack on a system. And using this Hermitage, you can see that these things have already been automated. I'll do a brief work on Metasploitable framework using command line, and so we'll see the difference. Now I could also select the machine and do find attacks, and you say attack analysis complete. You will now see an attack menu attached to each host in the targets window. Happy hunting. If I right click, it didn't appear that because there is no session created. So let me close this window and open another terminal. I will make it bold, then I will do MSF console, which is the normal Metasploit framework console. So we'll do it based on command. Then what I want to do next, I will search for that vulnerability it discovered. Search VS-FTPD. Okay, so it has given me the VS-FTPD, which is 1. So I will use 1. Then I will say options. So what I will do, I will say set ROs. So I'm doing this thing now manually using the command instead of what Hermitage has automated for us. Then I'll enter the IP address for my ROs 168.1.4. Then I will enter. Then I will now say run. So if I say run, it will begin to create a script. Found shell good. It say command shell session 1 opened. Okay, you could see that command shell 1 has been opened. So by so doing, that is a backdoor that has been created, and we could have C2, that is to say command and control on that device. So that is that. In my next video, we'll be using this wireless adapter to do a network sniffing. We'll sniff every network. Once we put it on now, it will sniff every network in our environment, and we'll now disguise the MAC address of this alpha, and by so doing, it will now be the network will now accept this adapter, and which that means is that we'll now gain access to the network. And once we gain access to the network, then we can now begin to carry out different scan as we have just done, you know, because for you to be able to scan a network, you must have been connected to that network. And once that is done, then you can begin to do further probing. And see you in my next video. Be blessed.